Good morning, Nachum. Good Shabbos, everybody. Tomorrow we have the privilege of beginning Sefer Shemos. I have the privilege of speaking to you from Eretz Yisrael, specifically from Beit Shemesh, and can only tell you what a thrill it is to be here. And it's a permissible jealousy that all of you can have. And I wish it on everybody very soon, to move, to visit, to come to Eretz Yisrael. Let's take a look at this incredible parsha of Shemos, whereby the Ramban calls the book of Shemos the Sefer of Geula, the book of redemption, because it's not only that the first few parshios of Shmos, Ba'era, Bo, and B'Shalach talk about Yitzias Mitzrayim and Kriyas Yamsuf, but we have after this the Maimad Har Sinai in Yisro. We have further elucidation of Mishpatim, and finally, as the Ramban points out, it's not until the Shekhinah is residing literally within Bnei Yisrael that we attain Geula. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that in Yirtzeh Hashem, soon, when we will have the third Beis Hamikdash, we will have attained Geula. I'd like to focus this morning on the encounter at the Sneh, the burning bush. Now the Torah tells us that Moshe is tending Yisro's sheep, and he purposely, according to our rabbis, is going achar hamidbar. He's going far into the desert in order not to graze on any land which was privately owned. Moshe's concern for, God forbid, the prohibition of stealing, that Moshe sees, the Torah tells us in chapter 3, verse 2, he sees a Malach of Hashem, an angel of God, who appears to him, Belabas Eish, who appears to Moshe in a blaze of fire from the bush, from the Sneh. And behold, Hasneh bo'er ba'esh, that while the bush was burning in the fire, Vashneh inenu ukol, the bush was not consumed. Clearly, Moshe realizing afterwards that this was Hashem's way of demonstrating, of actualizing the prophecy that will be told to him at this bush, that as the bush is not being destroyed by the fire, so too will Klal Yisrael not be destroyed, annihilated in any which way, be it by persecution or by assimilation in Mitzrayim. That Am Yisrael is going to survive. This is the, quote, message that the Sneh itself will help communicate as we move on and see Hashem's actual communicating to Moshe. So the Torah tells us that in Bayar Hashem Kisor Liros, Hashem sees that Moshe turned aside to see. What does that mean? The Supporno understands this to mean that Moshe came lehizbonein badavar. Moshe came to investigate, to look more. He was He realized that a malach of Hashem is communicating to him from the fire, but he wants more. And as a result of Moshe's wanting more, what you have is, initially, Malach Hashem was appearing to Moshe. Now you have Hashem himself actually communicating with Moshe. Vayikra Elo Belukim mitoch hasneh in Pasuk 4. And as the Supporno says, Habola Taher, Moshe, who in this case here represents the one who wishes to be purified. Our rabbis teach us Habola Taher Messiah also. If a person wants to elevate and grow in spirituality, they assist him from on high. But you have to take the first step. So Moshe takes the first step, Vayar Hashem Kisor L'Rose. As we continue in the prophecy at the sneh, we have a give and take between Moshe and Hashem. When Hashem tells Moshe that he has seen the state of Bnei Yisrael in Mitzrayim, and he wants to fulfill his promise which he made to the Avos to bring Bnei Yisrael to Eretz Yisrael. He's going to take them out, and he wants Moshe to be his shaliach to bring the people out of Mitzrayim. At which point Moshe says two things in Pasuk Yud Aleph. Mi anochi ki elech al Paro. Who am I that I can speak to kings, royalty? Who am I that I should be your representative, number one? And secondly, v'chi otzias b'nei Yisrael mi Mitzrayim. And even if I have any zechusim, what zechusim do Bnei Yisrael have? That shetei osa lahem nes ve'otzion mi Mitzrayim. What do Bnei Yisrael have that they merit being taken out of Mitzrayim, which can clearly only be done, like Rashi says, b'derech nes, only in a miraculous way. And in order for this miracle to occur to Bnei Yisrael, there needs to be some worthiness. At this point here, where is the worthiness? So Hashem answers, as we see in Pasuk Yud Beis, and Rashi explains that Moshe, who had two questions, who am I, and what zechus, what benefit do the Jewish people have, Hashem answers both these questions in Pasuk 12. Number one, Ki imach. God says, I will be with you. Seyata d'shmaya. You're right. You yourself don't have sufficient merit, Moshe, but I will be with you, and I, being with you, will bring your mission to a success. And then the second one that you asked, what merit do the Jewish people have to receive to be taken out of Mitzrayim in a miraculous way? So Hashem says to Moshe, just know, Mitzrayim, when you take the people out of Egypt to Avdun, they will worship and serve Elokim al-Har Hazeh. They will accept the Torah 50 days after they leave Egypt. Well, they haven't left yet, but I believe, just as the Supporno says, that the Torah is teaching us that Moshe and his being the Mevakesh, Moshe wanting more, and Moshe typifying the concept of Habolata'er, the one who wants to improve and to grow spiritually, Messiah also, so too this applies to the Jewish people. Because what we have in chapter 4 of Shemos is that Hashem tells Moshe to go back to Mitzrayim. There he will meet his brother Aaron, and we're told that Moshe tells over the game plan to Aaron in Pasuk Chav Ches, chapter 4. Vayaged Moshe li Aaron, is called Divrei Hashem Asher Shalacho. Moshe tells Aaron all of the conditions and teachings that Hashem told him, and the Torah tells us a few psukim later, Vayamein ha'am, that when Moshe comes and tells this to the people believe. What do the people believe? The people are believing not only are they going to be taken out of Mitzrayim, but the people believe that they will receive a Torah. Whoa! The idea being not just Moshe is Bo L'Tahir, but Bnei Yisrael as well are being Bo L'Tahir. They too are coming to take that very important first step. And once the person or people take the first step, HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds in kind and assists them in further growth and relationship. And so, too many people are afraid initially to take the plunge, be it in Torah, that Torah is so difficult, Torah is so challenging. The answer is yes, at first glance, but once a person takes the plunge, their entire life is transformed. And what appears to be something so challenging and difficult becomes something most pleasant and uplifting. When it comes to davening, avoda, there too, people say there are so many distractions, it's so difficult to so do. If you have the intent, the willingness, the desire, HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps you in this process. And finally, where do I start? Where do I stop in terms of my Gemilus Chasodim? I'm only one person. How much can I accomplish? Once again, Abola Tahir, if you take that first step and have that desire that you want to be involved in Chesed, you will be assisted from on high. I can tell you that Baruch Hashem, being in Eretz Yisrael, these, so far, almost a week, I can say that one can feel this in the air. There is Seyata Dishmaya. There is help from on high, which is felt throughout the country. We do ours, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Messiah, assisting us in bringing us to that final stage of Geula. Shabbat Shalom to all.